So guys, unfortunately, I've got some really bad news. As you can see behind me, this cage here is empty, and that's because our amazing girl BlackBerry has passed away. Unfortunately, this is the stuff that honestly I just hate. When you're working with animals and quantity of animals, unfortunately, sometimes you're gonna have losses. Sometimes they make sense, sometimes they don't. And this one honestly doesn't make sense, and it really hurts really bad. Let's just start from the beginning.
Oh, I seen a nerd sticker. That means it has to be either a retic or... is it a new Elvis?
Let's just find out. Okay. Ooh, it's big.
It is big. Oh,
It's
what
big.
is that?
It's a girl.
It's a girl?
It's a girl.
Oh,
Hello.
oh my goodness.
Hello,
It's a little
Welcome
baby
home.
toothless girl.
it is.
Tooth Lorena.
Hello. Welcome to the Reptarium.
This is where you live now.
Yep. Since Toothless moved over to Legacy, this was a perfect.
She's gonna get to stay over here with me.
So this is one that I purchased from our friend Andy. He said his daughter had named her Blackberry, but
Blackberry.
we could also change it.
Blackberry's not bad. That's cute, and it definitely fits our Reptarium animal.
That is true. She supposedly is a sweetheart. He's raised her from a baby. So happy to get out of this bag. That was a long night, but she looks amazing. And I know we got her enclosure all ready for her.
I miss when Toothless was this size.
I know, right? They grow so
my
fast. Shut up. Meet our newest girl. Oh, it's a girl?
It's a girl, Blackberry. The sweeter the juice.
Look at your little face. Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
Oh, she's so well behaved.
She is.
Yeah, we got her from our friend Andy.
I was gonna say, oh, nice. Thank you guys
The one and
so
only
much.
Andy Gadd.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me get Misty Mikey over here.
Oh my god.
I know. And it's a girl. It is a girl? Yeah.
Girl. All the girls are happy.
It's a girl.
Oh, don't bite my face.
She doesn't
is she
bite?
really
Yeah,
nice?
she's really
Very, very nice.
Oh, Connie's was love.
That's how big Toothless was when I was starting.
Oh my god. My first baby. Doesn't she look like me?
We've had Blackberry for over a year now, and in that time, she has actually laid infertile eggs. We've never bred her and had no plans to do so, but sometimes animals still will produce eggs, and they'll just pass the infertile eggs. She had already done this at least one time before, so when last week she started passing some infertile eggs again, we didn't think anything of it. But unfortunately this time, it didn't go as expected. This time, Blackberry started laying eggs, but she only laid 3 infertiles, which was kind of weird because usually the last time she laid a lot more, and we just watched, and she was acting a little funny, but also knowing she was doing that, didn't think too much of it. So we checked on her at night before we left. She seemed fine. Unfortunately, we came in the next day and she had passed. That blow was really, really hard. I mean, for all of us, obviously, zookeepers, me as an owner, even just workers here. Like, we love these animals and are attached to them, and to come in the morning and find something like that was literally devastating. Immediately, I called the vet and we decided to do a necropsy. We needed to find out, like, what is going on here, because it didn't make any sense, right? We thought maybe she could possibly be egg-bound, but also not sure, and we wanted to rule out any other causes. So obviously we brought her there. Our vet did the necropsy, and yes, it was confirmed that unfortunately she did get egg-bound, caused some other internal problems, and that is why she passed. Again, I hate this. I hate this so much. I wish that there was anything that we could do, but unfortunately sometimes things just happen, and there isn't anything you can do because it's just life. And honestly, this is the point when life just really sucks. And it's when you're dealing with live animals, you've got the high highs and you get the low lows. And this, unfortunately, is a very low low. We loved her. She was an amazing animal. We could never replace her. She had a very special place in our heart. And honestly, it just hurts really bad just not having her here with us anymore.
You know, there's always that feeling of like, is it something we did? Did we mess up? But, you know, finding out that she was egg bound, you know, with a monitor, it's not as easy to see as like it is with a snake. Hey, relax. Why are you trying to climb on the camera? Okay, relax. So, you know, when you see a snake that's egg bound, you pretty much get that sense right away of like, oh, something's wrong. You can pretty much see it. So when BlackBerry has laid 2 clutches of eggs since she's been in our care, and most of the time they're like 4 to 5 eggs. And so when we found slugs the previous day and she only laid 2, you know, that night I was like, yeah, that's kind of weird that she only had 2 when it was, you know, 4 or 5 the time before. And so I'm just, you know, trying to find something. You know, it kind of did the little like feel the belly, give her a little squish, and you can't feel anything. So it was very, very disheartening and just like broke all of our hearts that we came in the next morning and she passed away. And so when, you know, we see something like that, it's like red flags all over. Again, was it our fault? Was it something that happened? Was it the temperature? Was it the storm that the power went out? Like any of that stuff. And like trying to check off the list and do our due diligence, like it just like, I try not to cry right now, but like breaks your heart to have an animal that, you know, we haven't had BlackBerry for that long, like less than a year, and she became one of our favorites so fast. Like her personality, the way that she was with kids, like we all love BlackBerry and we're so heartbroken about it. But it really is like one of those things that is just out of your control. As you have as many animals as we have, and you know, things happen, and it just like, again, it breaks your heart. But the fact that she was egg bound is something that there was nothing we could do. By the time anything happened, it was too late. You know, when one of the eggs pushed up against her urethra and it just caused other issues, you know, you're thinking like, oh, is she constipated? Is there other things? But that same night she pooped. We watched her poop, and so like we know things were moving, but yet she wasn't able to pee. And you know, it's just, again, that stuff that you can't see unless you do a necropsy or some kind of surgery. And that's the hardest part about our jobs is, again, you never know what's going to happen. You do our best to take care of the animals, especially the ones that, you know, people don't care about. Reptiles. That is why we got into this business, and it's part of the reasons why I am so passionate about reptiles, because they're not always the animals most people love to see, but they really have their own personality. And like, these are our cats and dogs. Every day we come in, we're excited to see them. The animals light up, and BlackBerry was no exception.
Something that we take a lot of pride in here is making sure that all of our animals, especially the mammals, get all sorts of enrichment. So today is Stitch's food enrichment day. There you go, Stitchy.
Let it go.
I'm scared.
Why?
Here, Stitchy.
Look at those teeth.
What do you mean? Look at those teeth. And he loves chicken. But something really cool about Venturons, they actually have a esophagus that is equipped to handle really big food, and just like that.
Wow.
It's already gone. And you know what? I actually got something cool to show you. I'll be right back.
Did you love that chicken? That was so
He looks like a meerkat when he stands like that.
It's crazy.
Hey, dude, that looked like a little person in a bear costume. You little popcorn bear.
What are you doing?
I love that
What are
so
you
much.
doing?
That's the bear in him that comes out. It's so clear. It's funny, I was watching some stuff on the sloth bears. Have you seen those?
Yeah, they're kind of
They're
scary looking.
Yeah, they're like very deadly, but he
Oh my gosh. He wants
resembles the sloth bear actually.
Yeah, they're. You come in. It's open.
What's he doing?
He was getting some belly rubs.
All right,
You
Stitchy.
ready for this one? This one's good.
It's an egg. Oh, there you go, buddy. He absolutely loves it. And of course, since these guys are carnivore, they are listed as carnivores, but obviously they are omnivorous. They eat literally whatever we give him. Sometimes we give him lettuce, as you see. Sometimes we give him eggs, and he absolutely is going to go crazy. This is what he always does. He's going to lick up all the yolk, and he's going to lick the yolk out of the shell, and then once he feels like it's clean enough, then he goes ahead and eats the whole thing. There you go, buddy. Probably feels like Christmas cheese today. All right, guys, since Javi was a baby, we've been teaching him all sorts of tricks. We have started to work with Henry, but Henry's still a little bit more apprehensive, but I'll see if I can get him to do them for you guys. So I actually have some of Brillo's food here, which is enrichment in itself for Javi. He absolutely loves Brillo's food, one of his favorite treats. Let's see if we can get him to do some actual work for this. Javi, sit. Good boy. Good boy, Javi. Javi, up, 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 up. Good boy. That was still a little lazy. All right, we got 2 more. I guess actually technically we have 3 more. Javi, up. Wow. And this is a great photo op for the guest, of course.
Yeah, right?
Okay, Javi off. And now we kind of get like a 2-in-1.
Are you ready? This one?
Javi, come here. Come. And spin. Javi, spin. Spin.
Yay.
Good job, buddy.
You're so smart.
And let's see if we can get Henry to take one. That's Henry's first piece of Brillo food, actually. See what he thinks of it.
He's eating it. That's how you start.
Javi, up, up, up. Come on, up. Up, up, up.
You're so good.
Good job, buddy.
Hi, you are so smart.
He says, yeah, but can I also eat your hair? All right.
This may be a stupid question, but does he actually understand language, or is it like the hand motions?
So he actually understands both. So with Javi, we have learned he really does respond a lot better to the hand motions. Obviously, we got the sit and the spin, but he does. I don't have like a command for up, like I just say up, up, other than when he's going on somebody's lap, you know. But when I'm just telling him to stand, I think he just gets it. We also say Javi come, does come to us, so I think it's a little mixture of both. That one was for just being so cute.
Good job, bud.
It is super important that we also do the enrichment for both of our sloths. One of my favorite things to do is really just make them get up and actually move. I always try to use stuff like fruit, which is a really high value treat for them. Fruit makes up a very, very small amount of their diet, so they don't get it often. So I make sure when they're gonna do the work, it's worth it. Ooh, yeah, see? You can already smell it. Yeah. So of course, these guys do not have the best eyesight at all, but they do have a really good nose. So again, just moving her around, really making her work for it, and I'll show you guys one of my favorite little tricks I make her do. She's like, all right guys, I'm here. Where's the food? Not yet. Come on, Lilo. Get that last foot. Come on, last foot. Last foot. Come on. It's almost there, Lilo. There you go. Now we're going to make her bend all the way down. Stretch out, girl. Get your morning Pilates in. Nice job. And of course, this is using all of her muscles that sometimes she really does not use that often. Really making her hang by her back leg, getting that little core workout in right there. We'll give her one more while she's down here. Reach for it. Nice job, girl. Enrichment days are some of my favorite days around here. You want to do one, Melissa?
Sure.
Sometimes she is a lot quicker than you think, so you got to be careful.
Where should she go next?
Make her go all the way up there. And this is also really good because some of these ropes, I promise they are good, but some of them she doesn't really trust because she doesn't use them often. So again, this is even just building her confidence of like, hey look, you can climb right here, it's okay.
Good job. All right.
And even sometimes just holding it out in the open and just seeing like, what does she do? You know, I could lead her back to this rope and whatever, but that's really not her using her brain, which is what I want to be happening right now. She can smell this apple, now she's got to figure out how is she gonna get to it.
Nice.
Nice job, Lilo. Come on, girl. Working hard. Now this time we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna make you have to go up. Come on, you got it. Nice job, Lilo. Super awesome. She's another animal that, like, man, it is so crazy to think that we've already had her for 3 years now. It's like, time just absolutely flies. As much as I wish her and Drogo could be together, I love having Drogo over at the Annex and having Lilo over here at Legacy. So this way is actually really hard for her. This is not rope. She's having to use the rough tree, which she's not a fan of. See if you can lead her all the way back up to her.
Up to that one?
Yep, up to her bed.
Come on, Lily. Oh.
She's getting confused.
Come on over
I know it might look like a lot of apple to you guys. This is actually just one little tiny slice of apple cut up into a bunch of small French fry size pieces. Come on, Milo. Good girl.
That was cool.
Absolutely awesome.
That's like supersonic speed for a sloth.
Yeah, oh yeah, she is definitely the fastest sloth that I know. So all you people with those sloths out there named Flash, if you guys want to have a sloth race, I'm here for it.
Let's clock it.
So I'm not sure if you guys know or not, but we do have a small group of albino Colombian rainbow boas. Now we've got T positive and T negatives, and 3 out of the 4 females I am 100% sure have babies. So today I want to go ahead and ultrasound them and see, because I feel like they have to be getting pretty close. These girls are super chunky and they have not been eating for the last almost 2 months. So let's pull out the ultrasound machine and let's see how many babies we have.
And the cool thing to remember about the boas as well is they're live births. So
Yes.
if there's babies in there, you should see the skeletal structure compared to just eggs.
And we should be able to potentially even get kind of a count, because at this point these guys should be pretty well formed. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you have a guess how many she might have in there?
I have no idea. I'm not too familiar with what's a typical litter.
So I think last year the one female that went had probably close to a dozen. And honestly, I don't even think she was this big. So I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I'll say 9.
Not okay. You're going safe.
What do you think?
I'm gonna say 15. I don't know why. It's just in my mind. So also you have to remember these guys are going to be in sacks. So it may or may not look like an egg sack because they are going to be in that. Trying to see if I can get a little bit.
That looks like some sort of sack
Exactly. No, for
See, at
sure.
least
And I
3.
think that's exactly it. So let me go right back up here. Okay,
That's the
so that dark
gallbladder.
one is the gallbladder, so that's perfect. So then let's just go down
there we
from
go.
there. So
That's
we got
definitely
1.
2 for sure.
Yeah, she's coming off me.
3,
So
4.
yeah. But she's got a lot in there. Let's check out the next one and see if we can see a little bit clearer.
You know what I can see clearly though is that Reptile Army merch, which is still available at reptilearmy.com for a very, very limited time.
Yeah.
We're coming up on quarter's end. Once this first quarter passes, on to the next. And you won't be able to get this anymore. So if you want it, you better get it now before you'll never be able to get it again.
This is the second girl of my T negative group. So we've got T positive and T negatives. These real yellow ones are the T negative, and then the next one up will be the T positive, which you'll be able to definitely tell the difference. Same, looks pretty dang chunky. So let's see, now that we saw one, if we can find some similar. All right, what are we looking at here? Huh. Very interesting.
Working an ultrasound machine can be quite complicated. You have not only the right pressure that needs to be applied, but also the correct angle of the probe as well. You can put the probe in all different types of ways to get a different image through the body, whether that's human or snake. And it can make it quite challenging when you have a patient that's not cooperating.
Absolutely. I could have a really clear picture and then she decides to just like move a certain way and then I see nothing. So I think we're seeing the same kind of stuff. We're seeing definitely some sacs in here.
Yep, for sure.
3, 4, 5. And now she's going against the probe.
There you go.
Yep.
There's a good splotch.
Yep. And then she's like, nope, I don't want you seeing anymore. Well, I think it definitely tells us we've got some stuff going on here. And again, this is my second of the T negative. Let's check out that T positive.
All right, guys. So Billow's enrichment for today, we actually have a really awesome dig box. I'm gonna put all of his favorite treats in here. Since this guy is an omnivore, he literally eats everything actually. So we got some super worms for him. We got some Cheerios. We got some zucchini. We got some apple. I even threw some gator pellets in there. Let's see what he thinks. Okay, Brillo, you know what time it is. Ready, Brills? Maybe I should build him some stairs. Okay, Brilly. Oh, he already got a Cheerio. See what else you find in here, buddy. And again, this is, I mean, honestly, one of my favorite enrichment things to do with Brillo for a couple of reasons. One, he's an armadillo, so he naturally loves to dig and loves to burrow. But this is getting all of those senses done actually just in one activity, because he's also having to use his brain, being active. Brillo is a little pudgy, so he kind of needs to go on a diet. We do love to put him on the cat wheel, but man, he poops a lot. Look, Brillo.
Get your worms.
What do you find in there?
Look at that
He's
nose
looking-
going.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh. What do you see in there, Brillo?
He's like something.
He's like, I
good
smell
right
something.
here.
He's like, I just gotta find it.
Yeah, so you figure wild would be digging up like grubs and
Oh
things like
yeah.
that.
Yep. And the cool thing is like Brillo, we don't ever really see him go super crazy ham at the digging, and I think it's because he's actually just so smart. Like, he digs slow because he's very intentional about it. He's trying to take in all the smells. He's trying to make sure he doesn't miss anything. Focuses on one spot. Once he's done with that spot, he moves to another. Almost like you guys can see, he's making a little trail in there right now. We actually just seen Brillo's parents not that long ago, and man, they are huge.
They are
I thought
huge.
Brillo was big. They are like 2 times the size of Brillo, so I like our little miniature 6-banded armadillo. So of course, Enrichment Day here at Legacy, one of my favorite days. Love to make sure that all the mammals have different enrichment and stuff like that. I'm gonna go ahead and drop an Amazon link for some new enrichment stuff that we've got. If you guys want to be a part of that, click the link below, send us some cool stuff. You never know, you might see it on the vlog. Of course, working with animals has its ups and downs. Super sad day to, you know, hear about what happened to BlackBerry. Losing an animal so suddenly is always something hard to do. Losing an animal at any time is very hard to do. I'm happy that we were able to get an answer as to what exactly happened, and maybe something that we can look for in the future if we are ever in that situation again. But love you, BlackBerry.
All right, so I am so excited that our muralist who did the big mural above Javier and Henry's enclosure is coming back, and this time he's going right there above Bowser. This is going to open up this space so much. I cannot wait to see the artwork, cannot wait to see the design. Thinking like, I don't know, like maybe like swampy, some cypress knees, something that just looks like it keeps going. So he'll be here in the next couple weeks. You guys stay tuned because we're definitely gonna get some time-lapse footage of him painting, and it's gonna be awesome.
For those of you who may not know, this giant tank here is actually our jellyfish tank. And you can see it's dark, and you can't really tell probably, but it is empty. So we have water in it, but we had a very big mishap happen with this tank that took months in the making to get it fixed. It really sucks. I'm not going to go into exactly what happened. All I'm going to say is the plate on the bottom here somehow was broken. And that being said, if that's broken, nothing works here. So Steve has diligently been working on this for months. The good thing is it is finally fixed, and now we have water in it. So this is actually the second fill, and this is just garbage water. This is a rinse and clean. So we have to do this 3 times, where we fill it up, wash it out, scrub it, drain the whole thing and the sump. So this is number 2. So one more time of doing this, we can fill it with the water that will stay in there, and we can actually get jellyfish back in the jellyfish tank. This has been a long time coming. For those of you who may have visited, you probably noticed and saw what is going on with this tank. That's the update. It's finally fixed, it's finally finished, and sooner versus later now, we'll finally have jellyfish back in it. Hey Jay, do you know where the bathrooms are?
I do know where the bathrooms are now. Now I get it. Restroom. That's awesome. I love that.
It's all the little things that just come together, right? I don't know. Everybody's asking, where's the bathrooms now?
Right there.
Yep.
And if you can't see that, sorry.
Now this is a T-positive albino Colombian rainbow boa. Now you can definitely tell the difference, right? The other ones were very yellow, and actually you're more standard albino-y looking, where these guys have that more like, I don't know what, coppery kind of color to it.
Golden, they kind of look like a champagne ball python.
Yeah.
The same
Yep.
kind of
That's a good analogy. She's looking pretty distended and pretty full, right? Now, it's funny because I have 4 females. The one that actually produced last year doesn't look like she's gonna go. So this is the female that didn't produce. So the 3 I'm ultrasounding today have never produced for us yet. So let's see if I can get lucky with this one and get a pretty good visual of what's going on there. All right, so let's see. We're seeing the same thing. Oh yeah, look at those sacs. Can you see them?
Yep, saw a few of them.
I'm thinking that might be like 5 or so that I saw so far. 6, 7.
They look bigger than the last one.
They really do, which is funny. And this is a smaller female too. So you know what? Maybe she's just a little further along than them. But yeah, I'd say in this one, there's at least a dozen or so. I think this is pretty exciting. This is always the exciting time of year, right? When you've got babies or eggs and all of that. Live bears are definitely really cool because while you have to wait for them to be born, you don't have to have the wait you do with eggs, the 60 days waiting to hatch. So it's nice to just come in and be like, oh my gosh, baby's in a mess. It's kind of fun to work with both kinds. But I think we definitely have 3 very gravid females here. And yeah, we just check every day, and one of these days we're gonna come in to have a bunch of babies.
And there you have it. So is life, the dichotomy of life and unfortunately death as she tries to get me. You know, you have the tragedy of course, BlackBerry. Obviously you heard we took her to the vet. We have the answers, and there's nothing we could have done. I mean, that's just a freak accident.
Yeah.
Which freaking sucks, and it sucks bad. At least we know that it wasn't necessarily our fault.
No, absolutely. Unfortunately, when it comes to lives of animals, whether you're breeding or not, and honestly, like that's the thing. We didn't even breed BlackBerry because we didn't want to, but she's still going to go through the cycle and produce eggs just because that's what they do in nature. And unfortunately, sometimes that can happen. It can happen with any animals, snakes, lizards. And yeah, those things are out of our control. All we can do is learn and see if we can pay closer attention, maybe, you know, do something different. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of times that's nature, and that's the heartbreak of working with animals, is sometimes stuff is going to happen and it really sucks. And that's why when the good things happen, honestly, it's really good to just cherish those and really, you know, rival in that, because it makes the bad stuff much more bearable.
Egg binding, unfortunately, is common in reptiles. I mean, I think it's the most popular video, or one of the most popular videos on this entire channel, is Dad helping an egg-bound snake out.
Yeah.
And if he didn't help that one, she would have died as well. And this one was a little bit different. It happened so fast. But hey, we got some new life coming, and this is something to be really excited about.
So yeah, guys, unfortunately this was not a good day, and I hate that we have days like this, but that's life, right? The good thing is that there's also good things that happen too. We've got new life coming, along with having to deal with bad stuff. And hopefully the good will end up outweighing the bad. That's all we can hope for, right guys? But here we are. Obviously we share everything with you, and we hope you guys stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, there's a playlist that you can watch all kinds of videos. You can also hit that subscription button. It would mean a lot to me. Also, hit that like button while you're down there. Have a wonderful day, Reptile Army. Remember, be kind to someone, and I promise I'll see you in the next one.